personalities.
Straight into ticking boxes.
Hello.
And being part of the corporate machine. That's right, Drops of Knowledge podcast listeners. We're getting right into the nitty gritty.
Yes.
It's tax time.
Oh.
And it's stock take time.
Pew, 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 pew.
Thank you. So, welcome back to the Drop Some Knowledge podcast.
Hello.
Can we please make a request? Share this podcast with a friend.
Definitely.
And follow all the socials.
Yeah.
We know we bang on about it all the time.
TikTok.
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep.
Spotify.
Correct.
Apple.
Yep. And Instagram.
And Instagram. And Google.
So let's grow this knowledge community.
Yes.
Share it with a friend, subscribe, and get on the adventure with us.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've done our corporate civil duty.
Mm-hmm.
We can be ourselves again and we can take off this fake facade. That was James taking his mask off. And it's just as awful underneath.
Still this bad.
God.
And you too could look this bad.
Yeah.
Neutrogena.
Oh. Unless Neutrogena would like to sponsor the podcast.
and then I would look
But
fantastic.
until then, you're on thin ice, Neutrogena. So knowledge.
Yeah. I got some of that for you.
Do you?
I do.
Thank God, because that's the entire premise of this podcast. And if I came here for no knowledge, that'd be an incredibly boring episode.
It's true. And I've got 3 words for you, mate.
Go for it.
3 words. Bears. Oh, my. Yes, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. We have finally come to the end of a 3-episode-long gag that I've thrown into this, where I, JP, have snuck in a Wizard of Oz quote in the Drop Some Knowledge podcast. You're bloody welcome.
What? I didn't even know you were doing that.
Lions, tigers,
robots,
and bears.
Oh
my.
And yellow roads.
Yep. Terrifying stuff. And I did witches and wizards.
Well, I'm so happy to next
4
week
episodes.
to learn about everyone named Dorothy.
Oh.
A dinosaur and a woman with pigtails in a movie that was a very sepia sort of color
There's
grade.
a lot of colours in that movie.
It's a lot.
There's a lot.
Well, teach me. Let's
Okay,
go.
so actually, I'll teach you something about Wizard of Oz. That all the Munchkins, not all of them, could speak English. So then, when they were like walking around doing stuff, they were just because they liked the music and stuff.
They're just having a good time.
I don't know how true that is,
What
but I'm
is
going to
this
look it
party?
up.
Where have we gone to?
This is good, yeah.
Klaus, come and dance with me. What is that girl doing on that funny-looking road?
It's very pretty shoes.
Oh, yeah. Clothes.
I'm going to double check that because I think I just pulled that out of nowhere. But this knowledge, however, bears.
Yeah.
Bears.
I can't bear the thought of it.
Oh, it's unbearable.
Yeah.
Bears.
Bears.
So here's the solid conclusion
Okay.
to a 3-episode-long gag. There are 8 species of bears.
Seems like not very many.
There's really not, but if you think about it, there's you've got your Asiatic black bears.
Yes.
Sloth
The
bears.
rapper, I think he is Black Bear.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You
That
might
song
be.
with MGK.
Oh,
I think he's on top of a car in a music. I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's your fact.
I like that. That's a good one.
But there's 6 more to
there's
name.
6 more. Well, there's the sloth bear, the sun bear, the brown bear.
I need to drop a couple of brown bears
There's
off
the
after this.
moon bear. Oh, the growlers. And there's a bunch of other ones that are widely distributed around the world.
You forgot about the koala bear and the drop bear.
I will get to those later.
Okay, thank God.
So, the Asiatic bear, also known as the Asian black bear or moon bear,
Moon bear
is a member of the black
sounds
bear
like
family.
the best little craft brew like beer.
Moon bear.
There's moon dog. That's why I'm thinking
That's
of that.
what it is.
Yeah, yeah, and they branch off into doing moon bear.
Yes,
Yeah.
there you go. Moon bear is
It's a beef beer.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the beef.
It's a beef infused beer.
I watched a video on TikTok this morning of a guy going, "This is the beer latte.
Yuck.
I'm drinking it so you don't have to." It
Thank you, kind sir.
was horrible.
And I've changed my mind.
Yep.
It's a honey. It's
Oh,
a honey
it's a honey beer.
Honey
Yeah,
beer.
the moon bear is a honey
moon
beer.
bear.
Okay,
We might go pick us up a 6-year moon bears.
get us the moon bear.
Yeah.
So the moon bear is a member of the black bear family found in the Himalayas, northern parts of India, Southeast Asia,
Okay.
parts of Eastern Asia, including northeastern China and Korea. You've also got, they've actually got a V-neck
Of course. Oh, yes.
They have a
just
V-neck.
like a very infamous photo of you,
I
Sir
know.
JP, in a teal V-neck back in his scene
We're
days.
going to put it up here.
I don't think I have the
photo.
photo anymore.
Good.
Can you resend
No,
it to me?
draw it in paint.
Yuck, I don't have that. No, I can't. I'll be way too aroused. There's a famous photo of James in a V-neck when I think your hair was straightened and spiked.
It looked like this plant.
You did, actually.
It was out.
But look, all listeners maybe 25 and over,
Yep.
don't lie to me. You've worn a V-neck.
We've done it.
And you thought it was cool in 2008.
Absolutely.
While listening to that Behind Crimson Eyes album. Yeah, you know the one with the wings. Yeah, you know the one. Please go on, kind sir.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they have that's how they're well known, is they're usually black in color, but they have a distinct change of either white or a brown sort of V kind of print on their chest, so they clearly
Support the Melbourne victory.
Melbourne victory. Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Absolutely. Or
Super Kevin Musket.
what a guy.
Yeah, what a guy.
The
Also
brown bear
could be a bear.
could be a bear.
Yeah.
The brown bear is Europe's largest terrestrial mammal.
Okay.
Its total population for the continental Europe is estimated between 10,000 and 11,000 bears. It's a lot of bears.
That's a lot of bears.
It's a lot of bears. So they can also be as small. So bears in general can be as small as 4 feet long, so just under half a meter. Very small.
Very small.
And about 25 to 30 kilograms. So that's the sun bear.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Well, teacup bear.
Teacup bears.
Fantastic.
It's like those. All I can think of is those teacup dogs or the
pig,
cats.
teacup pig.
Pig. It's a teacup pig.
Teacup pig.
That's what it is.
That's in the How Many Mother episode.
Have you heard them run across like floorboards?
No, because they're always in a teacup. That's why.
That's why. But bears can be as big as 8 feet long, so 2.5 meters,
Yes.
and more than 450 kilograms.
Kilograms.
Polar bears.
Yeah, they're nasty
Massive.
boys.
Nasty. So on average, bears can live up to 25 years in the wild and 40 years in captivity.
Okay.
Now, speaking of the older generation of bears,
Yep.
there was a polar bear named Debbie
Okay.
who lived in Canada.
Does she want to speak to the manager?
all the time.
Yeah. I know it's Karen, but it kind of sounds like that
Debbie
name
is
as well.
Debbie.
They're Karen
I
adjacent.
know a lovely Debbie.
Righto, mate.
I do.
You don't have to justify
I've known
it.
her all my life.
Well, I'd like to see some badge.
My badge.
My bad.
But in Canada, she lived in Canada and grew up to
Your
the ripe
Debbie or
old
this
age.
bear?
No, this one.
Okay, sorry.
She's still going strong, but this Debbie, the polar bear,
Yeah.
lived to the ripe old age of 42.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, that's an old bear.
It's an old bear.
The
but
bears have bear
She's
years.
one of 4 other bears that have lived to that age. There was one other bear that in North America.
Yep.
Somewhere. That was said to have lived up to the age of 50.
It's unbelievable.
You got to keep these coming. This is good.
Thank you so
This
much.
is good. We'll have a short TikTok of just all the puns that Josh and I make throughout.
We'll get our TikTok account deactivated. Drop some knowledge podcast on TikTok.
Yeah. So you want to know how to figure out a bear's age?
Count its rings.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Where are the rings?
So
It's not where I'm thinking it is it? There's always one.
Where?
It's butthole.
It's always a different colour pertaining
Depending
to
on
the
what
bear.
it ate. Yeah.
Is it a sun bear? It's a yellow.
Or a maximum curry bear.
Brown.
Okay. Brown bear.
Brown bear. So the most accurate way to find out the bear's age is by counting its rings.
Okay.
Scientists will take a tooth of a bear and cut it in half under a microscope. That will be able to count the ring individually to find out its true age.
Interesting.
Just like
is
a
that just because
tree.
there's just like as they get older, there's another layer of sort of teeth bones. Teeth are bones.
The calcium.
aren't they?
It's a
Or
calcium buildup.
Okay. And would just be extra layers of calcium building up as they get bigger. So the teeth represent the size of the animal.
Yeah, I would think.
Interesting.
Now, because of its teeth, you would assume that all bears eat meat.
Well, No.
Well, no.
No, well, no. I expected you to go on with something there. I was
No.
like, well,
It was more of a...
no. From your tone,
No.
I would suggest maybe not.
Correct. So polar bears...
Great podcast
Polar bears...
for our audio
For
listeners.
sure.
Yeah, the video listeners who watch on YouTube, do that right now, are going to watch my face go, what are you thinking?
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of suspense.
Well, it was awkward silence.
It's beyond
Belief.
belief.
Oh, no. Give it a wash.
Polar bears, Josh.
Yes.
Polar bears are the only true carnivore in the bear species.
Ah. Well,
Where-
I got eaten by a bear on Red Dead Redemption yesterday.
Did
Does
you
that mean,
really?
yes, I did. Does that mean it's not historically accurate?
Look, was it a black bear or a brown
Or
bear?
V-neck
Or was it was a
bear.
V-neck
It had a
bear?
V-neck on. It was teal as well.
You're sitting there
Actually,
with
look, that's where your shirt probably
That's
went.
probably where it is. Bears are predominantly known as being omnivores or omnivorous.
Explain an omnivore for our
So
lesser educated listeners.
yes. Well, the
Not me.
carnivore
Yeah.
is what?
Well, meat.
Love meat. Vegetarians or
no meat.
no meat. Okay. And an omnivore.
Eats both.
Correct.
Well, but does that mean I'm not a carnivore?
So you got a carnivore and you got a herbivore, and then the omnivore
Okay.
eats both.
I would have always
They go
assumed
with-
a carnivore would
Yeah.
eat meat and other things, but it's strictly meat.
It's strictly meat.
Okay.
Because they
Well,
actually
that's
can't
interesting.
process it. So that's
never
the
thought
thing.
of it
Their
that way
stomachs
before.
do not process.
So if you have ever been at a vegan rally and someone has called you a carnivore,
Yep.
tell them, no, dear vegan,
Yeah.
I'm actually an omnivore.
Correct.
Yes.
You too can be that pretentious.
Yes, like me.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
But yeah, omnivores eat both. So they're berries, leaves, bark.
Yeah. Bark.
Um,
like jerky. It's
well,
like
think
vegan
about
jerky.
Think about Baloo, for instance, from the Jungle Book.
Yes.
Technically, he was eating meats. He wasn't eating
Like a charcuterie board.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Then ate the board.
The Shakira board.
Yeah.
Charcuterie. That's not how you say your name, mate.
Why? Why can I do that?
Charcuterie don't lie.
Yeah. The charcuterie
Sun
board.
bears.
I can't. It's just charcuterie bird. Sorry, go on. please.
Sun bears
Stop me.
actually have the longest claws and tongues out of any bear.
Yeah. Good.
So
All the better
to-
to lick you with. I hate that I did that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it though. It's fine. Oh, well, how long do you reckon the tongue is?
I was going to say something ridiculous then. Just
It's
be
okay.
stupid.
It's
Okay, no, I got this.
okay.
I'm
It's-
going to suggest the
Yeah,
tongue
yeah.
is 20 centimeters long.
Look, you doubled it. It's not bad though.
So it's not, it's 10
Oh no,
centimeters.
sorry, I read the claws bit. The
Fantastic.
claws is 10 centimeters, but the tongue
Is 20.
20 to 25
20
centimeters.
to 25.
Yeah, there you go. So not bad still. It's like,
Because I've seen a lot of, like the YouTube channel I spoke
Yeah.
about here, Best Ever Food Review Show.
Right.
Fantastic YouTube channel. Check them out. Not sponsored. They eat like
If
a
you
cow.
want to.
Yeah. Here's a cow's tongue. He'll eat different tongues.
Yeah.
Goes to different cultures and samples their food. And every tongue that
Yeah.
he eats, when they serve it up, it's huge. It goes like right down in the back of your throat. And when they cut, it's not just this little bit that sticks out. Yes. James is currently trying to measure his own tongue.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Enjoy that, YouTube viewers.
Welcome.
But yeah, the tongue goes all the way right into like the back of the throat.
Yeah,
almost,
okay.
From what I can tell.
Yeah.
And it's huge. That's where I got my 20
Okay, yeah,
centimeters.
sure. I would love to know. So we've talked about like the length of a woodpecker's tongue, right? Because it actually wraps around their brain.
Yes.
So when they like hit, that's actually a bit of a
Fantastic.
yeah.
Yep. Just for momentum.
It's more of a helmet for their brain.
Yeah.
But anteaters, like their tongues are ridiculous.
Wonder how long a snake's
Well,
tongue would be.
That's
Anyway,
another one.
we're talking about bears.
But
We're talking about bears.
Bears. Bears
I
actually
can't
have
bear this much longer.
the average heartbeat of a bear. No one's ever thought of this one, but I thought this was a good one. The average heartbeat
Beat.
of a bear
Yeah.
is 40 beats per minute. But when they hibernate, it can go down as low as 8.
8 beats a minute is wild.
So think of a human's heart rate, right?
What do we average as
Between
a
60 and 100,
human?
depending.
Yeah. And their average is 40.
Yeah. Tigers
Yep.
range between 56 and 97.
Okay, quite high.
And an owl's,
Okay.
because I thought I'd do something a bit different,
Why
but
not?
an owl's
Also part of the bear
yeah,
family.
absolutely,
Yeah.
95 to 140.
Why are they so stressed?
Resting.
They're so stressed owl.
But their hearts are this big, man. Like they've got the amount of blood they've got to pump through their body.
Yeah.
Even though their body's not that big.
Takes a lot to who.
Who?
Yeah, well,
There's an owl in here. So we've spoken about this before, but some of our new listeners might not know this.
Okay.
And we've mentioned some animals with incredible bite force. Okay.
yes.
Now, we've probably mentioned about the grizzly bear before,
I think we have.
which possesses a biting force of over 1,200 psi. That's enough to break a bowling ball.
Yeah, that's wild. I think wasn't the tiger or the
Very
the
similar.
tiger was very similar.
Yeah,
to that?
very
Yes.
similar. But like they had a much less. I think it was 700 and something to 1,200. It's a huge amount of bite force.
Imagine that.
Grizzly bears are actually known as black bears.
Okay.
Okay, grizzly. The name grizzly actually comes from a little bit of like a grizzled hair that's actually close to their
Interesting.
nostrils,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting.
Wipe your nose.
Sorry. The bear. Sorry, my bad.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Damn it. Now, grizzly bears can actually run up to an incredible 65 kilometers an hour.
I've seen footage of bears running towards people before, and
Yeah.
it just looks like the most
It's
terrifying.
horrifying.
Your life would flash before
It
your eyes.
really would.
And that speed barrier, you think your heart's got?
Yep.
You're doubling it.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember we were saying like that beats per minute, 60 to 100? Yeah,
You get
you look
bad
at the
case of owl
owls.
heart. Yeah.
But for context about how fast these guys run, think of it like a greyhound going around the track chasing that electric rabbit.
Yes.
Crazy quick.
That's wild.
Can you imagine grizzly bears racing that?
That would be fantastic. Are people sitting on them and they have like reins that they can? That would be wild. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that would be cool.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yes, and like Attack of the Clones,
Yes.
James, when all the animals and the aliens come out at the end, like their Colosseum style.
The
thing.
Avatar.
Yes,
Think of all the animals coming out.
Yeah, I could imagine the bears have the little
Yeah.
chariot on the back and they ride the bears. But the bears can also fight
They're
like
all-
roller derby, but it's bears with little men on the back in a little cart. But the bears can attack each other. It's a roller derby greyhound style race.
All I can think of is they're on unicycles.
They are also on unicycles.
I don't know why.
No, they're on them.
Okay,
With a little
there you go.
hat with
Yes,
a tassel off the top.
Tassel and symbols.
Little tassel hat. Yeah, and symbols. Yes.
Panda bears.
That was wild.
That was wild. I want to see like somebody draw
Yes.
that
Please,
conversation.
if anyone can draw,
Yeah.
and you can draw a bear on a unicycle towing a chariot with a little man in the back with a hat with a tassel and symbols fighting another bear in a roller derby greyhound racing style event in a coliseum,
I want to
please
see
send it through to any of the social
any
media.
of the social media. I want to see one of these episodes animated.
Oh, like what do they call them? Like fan fiction?
Yeah.
A
Well,
fan
I
fiction.
love like one of my favorite YouTube channels is Game Grumps, right? And
Yes.
they do that as well.
Okay.
And they've got I just think it'll be hilarious with the communicate. The
We're going to
conversation that
hire
we've just
Game
had.
Grumps
Yep,
to
let's do
animate
it.
maybe just a clip of
They've
the
only
Drops
been
of
doing
Knowledge
it for
podcast.
12 years.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they'll be fine, James. They'd have it all.
It's true. They'd have it
a
all
system.
figured out.
They've had people to do it.
They got people.
They've got people.
Panda
Staff.
bears.
Yes.
Have an extra thumb,
Cool.
which is actually an extra large wrist bone.
So 2 thumbs, not an extra finger.
Pretty much like it's a little appendage that kind of
I
comes
guess
out
they
of
have
their
paws.
wrist.
They wouldn't have fingers.
Yes, it's an extra large wrist bone, which is actually just for holding bamboo stalks. So it's like so they can actually grip it a lot.
Imagine
more.
if they had like human style, like we had an extra thumb.
Yeah.
And if you said, "Oh, is everything all good?" and I went to give you the thumbs up, but my extra thumb was sticking out. It looked like I'm
Oh.
giving you the forks. Up yours, mate.
No, I reckon it's on the other side, so it looks like I'm giving you an extra large shucker.
Shucker. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic.
Now, I've probably mentioned this before as well, but panda bears can actually eat up to 20 kilos of bamboo per day.
That's a lot,
That's a lot of bamboo.
But to be
They're not
fair,
even
you
supposed to eat bamboo.
aren't they?
No.
Why?
It's not really
Haven't
part
you
of their
seen
diet.
Kung Fu Panda?
But it actually makes them really
Haven't you seen
ill.
that documentary?
Oh, it's a fantastic document.
Every panda sounds like Jack Black.
Did you have the noodle dream?
Yeah.
So happy.
Okay.
That's part of the movie. I can't do accents.
At the end of the year, we're putting on a special Christmas event, Drop Some Knowledge Live on Ice, where James will reenact the entire movie of Kung Fu Panda
entirety
while
of Kung Fu
skating
Panda.
on any form of ice.
Any form of ice. It's probably just going to be an ice block.
Fun for the whole family. You just open the freezer. No, we'll do it with tech decks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
in. I'm in. A newly born Kodiak bear.
Well, yeah, like Pitbull.
Yep.
Rhyming Kodak with Kodak.
Kodak with Kodak. Kodiak with Kodiak.
The bear's a
Can
Kodak.
weigh
Yeah.
less than half a kilo.
Well, when it's born or like...
As it's born. When it's
Okay.
born. Newly born. As it grows,
Yeah.
its weight may increase as much as 1,000 times.
Why? Yeah, that's... Imagine.
Well,
you
put
know
it-
when you look at like... When someone comes over and you haven't seen your dog for a few months
Yes.
and they're like, oh, it's getting so big.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like,
That's
"That's
chonk."
the same size I've seen every day because you see it.
You see it every day.
These bears.
It's big.
But if you're a mother bear and you had to push
Mm.
a big, ginormous fur ball out of your hoo-hee, that would be quite uncomfortable. I guess they don't have a C-section.
No, they really don't have that option, unfortunately.
No, that's why they're called grizzly bears.
But yes. But if a human baby grew the same way,
oh, I'm excited for this.
they would grow to be over 2.5 ton.
That is too big, and we need to spread the word about
Awareness.
clinical obesity. It's a chronic issue in this country, and I need you to stand up for obesity right now. Let's kick the obesity crisis in the love handles. Just get a medium meal. You don't have to get a large. This is how they get you. Only 70 cents to get a large chips?
I'd still do it.
Well, it's not 70 calories, it's a billion calories. Yeah, you heard me.
And that's
1 billion
Calories.
calories.
Mwah.
Maha.
Something a little different,
Oh, great.
and probably something a little less known about bears.
Yep.
But bears are among the most intelligent land mammals in North America.
Well, it's definitely not the people of North America. Am I right? Joking, guys. You guys are all right.
They have the largest and most complex brains compared to other land mammals of their size.
Fantastic.
So using this big brain,
Yep.
because they're big brain boys, unlike their smaller smooth brain cousins, the koala.
Koalas play smooth
Look,
brains.
I say cousins, but they're actually marsupials and they're not ursines, which are bears.
Drop bears, on the other hand.
Drop bears on the other ends. Can
European
actually
tourists.
remember the hot spots for hunting food.
Well,
And some research has actually shown that they still remember these areas after 10 years.
blimey.
I-
unBEARlievable. I've made that one
There
before,
is,
but it
it's
really
okay.
fit
It's
just
there
then.
again. It's there. But they're even smart enough to actually cover their own tracks and even use their fur as camouflage.
Oh.
But they've also been known to roll around in
Excrement.
well, yeah. So in excrement, in
Poo. that
rotting
is, James,
flesh.
for
That's
those
poop.
people who don't know what excrement
That's
is.
poo.
Poo.
Shit. And actually roll around in rotting flesh to actually hide their scent from hunters.
Oh, well, I mean, then hunters could be like, where's the rotting flesh?
Where's the rotting flesh?
But I like what they're trying
I
to do.
think, look, just give them a
Your
Lynx
intention was good.
Give them Lynx Africa,
Yes, absolutely.
and the bear honeys will come running.
I cannot believe that Lynx Africa doesn't have like a dab on cologne or something like that. Like people would buy that, wouldn't they?
They would.
This podcast is sponsored by Lynx Africa. Not
Dab on
officially,
cologne.
but we dab on cologne, which we are about to franchise.
We're gonna make millions,
Billions, perhaps.
billions. We're gonna make some money.
Gonna make some money.
Speaking of hunting,
Yes.
polar bears will travel crazy far distances for food.
Crazy far.
Crazy far. Well, in a lifetime, a single polar bear will actually. So they actually hunt singular. They're on their own. They're loners. They will actually travel up to 260,000 kilometers
Just
searching for food in their lifetime.
in a lifetime.
I mean, it happens with climate change, global warming, all that stuff.
But again, it's getting a bit warm.
Yes, but because of climate change and global warming, we actually get grizzly bears and polar bears doing the bare naked fun fur time.
Ah, yes.
Bare naked.
Bare Naked Ladies, you're one of your favourite bands.
Oh, absolutely.
The bears are banging.
The bears are banging,
Yep.
but grizzly bears and polar bears specifically, because of the shrinking of the ice caps, and they're actually having to move a little bit
shrink
further,
your ice cap.
a bit further south to okay,
That just sinking a bit late
a
there.
little bit. So now that they're being seen in Alaska and Western Canada, polar bears and grizzlies have been mating with each other,
Fantastic.
which has then resulted in a cub
Oh, no.
affectionately known as the Pizzly bear.
The Grizzly Bear.
The Pizzly bear.
Well, this sounds like the worst Ace Ventura 3 plot. But if Jim Carrey would love to come out of retirement and quiff up again,
Yeah.
please do
I
so.
think it's great.
That is great.
Now, I'm thinking this could actually be another episode, right?
Grizzly
So, no,
Bear.
Pizzly bears, but like weird hybrid
Is that
animals.
real?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. They're as big as a polar bear, but they come out like they look more like a grizzly, but they've got the same sort of fur coloring as a polar bear. But polar bear's fur is actually translucent.
have you ever seen those albino kangaroos?
What?
So here's some knowledge
Oh,
for you, and I'm about to drop some knowledge.
I
on this
like
pod.
this.
Is there any more facts?
No, that's what it. I was just saying, like that could be the next episode. Is like
Well,
weird
fantastic.
hybrid animals. I don't know. Thoughts?
Well,
what
look,
do you think?
I think that's great. We need to, like, if you're going to pick, I'm going to get onto my fact in a second.
Yes.
If you're going to pick two animals
Yeah.
to intermingle together,
Mm-hmm.
what would it be?
Can there be
Anything.
Anything?
Anything.
And did you say anything?
Anything?
Yes, anything.
Yes. Anything. Go on. What is it?
Ah,
First two that come to your head.
chameleon
Yep.
pig,
Oh my God. The pig just could change colours.
and it has a really long tongue that
Yeah. Fantastic.
and its eyes do that weird.
Fantastic. Yeah, its eyes move weird.
You?
What would you call it?
A pygmalion.
Okay. What I was going to say was a snake that's the size of a crocodile with a
Oh,
crocodile's head.
jeez.
So it's like the most terrifying sea sperm of all time. Imagine a crocodile swimming along with no arms and legs and just body like a snake.
Soft water?
Soft water or hard water?
Salt water or fresh water?
Salt water for sure.
water, absolutely.
Imagine that thing.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying. And
Oh
it
my
looked like a
God.
big dinosaur sperm.
With little legs.
Yeah, no legs.
No legs.
Like a
It's
snake.
going to be like a snake.
Yes, and it can when it eats its food, its jaw dislocates.
Does its tongue... Is
Absolutely.
it a forked tongue?
It's got venom.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. And a little rattle at the end.
I want to... Someone draw this.
Someone
I
draw
want
that
to
too.
see. I want to see the pigilion,
Yes.
the pelion.
The bear fighting in a ring with the tassel.
Yep. We need to see the bear hound races.
And a little dinosaur sperm.
And
I'm
little
talking about.
dinosaur sperm.
If anyone does that, I'll transfer you $10.
There you go.
And that's a promise.
Well, there you go.
James
$10.
will
Also
Yes, okay.
$20.
great. $20.
$20,
for anyone who does that.
and it can be in MS Paint, but we prefer oil or
Complete
water-based paint.
Photoshop. Okay, yes. True.
Or Photoshop.
Or on one of those boards with the weird circle
Or
things.
the AI. Have you seen like people making AI photos? Like they ask AI to
I
draw
did.
something. Yeah. If you've got that, do that and then send it to
Nerds.
us. That'll be fun.
To finish the podcast today, I'm going to tell you a fact about albino kangaroos.
Yeah, go for it.
I have a friend in the Netherlands called Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. Hopefully Alkmaar is treating you well.
Oh.
Enjoy the canals. So we were talking about issues that the Netherlands
Yeah,
has.
okay.
And there's actually a mad crayfish problem in the Netherlands.
What?
Because in the canals,
Yeah.
the crayfish are eating away at the canals.
Yeah.
Right? And they're burrowing all through these man-made islands, which
Right.
are causing them to be unstable and possibly collapse.
Okay.
So there's a mega crayfish problem, and they're trying to fish these crayfish out and eat them
Right.
because crayfish are good.
Yes.
But also there's too many crayfish.
Right.
So we were talking about that, and she goes, you can get kangaroos here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, yeah, the Netherlands has kangaroos. And they have these kangaroo enclosures there of these pure white albino kangaroos, and you can buy them.
What?
Yeah, I think it's very illegal to buy them, but we Googled it, and you can buy an albino kangaroo from the Netherlands. How crazy is that? So,
That's.
yeah.
I want one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
I want to know how much.
I won't lie to you. You know when you see those mice that have had like tests done on them and their eyes are weirdly red? That's
Yes.
what these kangaroos look like.
Yeah. Okay.
So search up, your homework, Drops of Knowledge podcast listeners, is to search up albino kangaroos in the Netherlands.
Yep.
learn and educate yourself about the crayfish problem going on
That's
in the Netherlands.
That is true.
Drawing a bear.
Yep.
I don't have to describe it again.
No.
Drawing a dino sperm,
Yeah, a
crocodile
dino sperm.
snake hybrid,
And
a pig chameleon, with googly eyes,
and
and
one of
a
those really
little
long
tongue.
tongues.
Yeah. Yes.
And probably some sort of wacky color that it's trying to.
Correct. And for everyone who
with.
does that, $10 each from us.
Yeah, $10.
So thank you for listening once again. Share the podcast with a friend.
Yep.
Tell your mates. Share a TikTok. Share a reel. We want to grow this podcast as much as we can, and we need your help to do so.
That's exactly right.
So thank you for sticking around.
Thank you.
James is going to sign us off in Dutch albino kangaroo. And translate that into English.
Goodbye.
No, what they would say is, I'm very sick. They keep testing cosmetics on me.
Please
Save
help.
me and send me back to Australia.
Please.
I'm dying.
For the love of God.
For the love of God, I'm
My
very
eyes
sick.
are burning.
My eyes
I'm
are
very
I'm
sick.
very sick. I'm very poorly.
Oh.
Well,
Bye, guys.
see you guys. Enjoy that.